Hey everybody, I'm Flying Scorpion, also known as BoozBaz in EVE Online, and in this video I'm going to compare not red, don't shoot it versus not blue, shoot it rules of engagement. Essentially the main difference is how do you deal with a neutral when you see a neutral in space. So in high security space, Concord enforces not red, don't shoot it rules of engagement. And many players have been content for years, if not 2 decades, operating under not red, don't shoot it rules of engagement in high security space. Not blue shoot it cannot really exist in high security space because you'll get blown up by Concord. So you're going to run into not blue shoot it in low security space and in null security space. From my research, not blue shoot it works best in nullsec, where players can gain sovereignty over the systems, because in null security space, for one, you don't have sentry turrets on the jump gates or on stations shooting at you if you break a not red, don't shoot it rule of engagement. You don't have to deal with a loss of security status, and you can completely evict your enemies from your region of space. In not blue shoot it nullsec, when a neutral is seen in local, they don't need to perform some sort of infraction upon you or cause harm to any of your teammates in order for them to be kill on sight. They are simply kill on sight by default as a precautionary measure. I used to think that not red, don't shoot was a Care Bear approach to playing EVE, but the more I learn about it, the more it seems that it's a lot more dangerous and harder to enforce not red, don't shoot it in EVE Online than it is to just go with not blue shoot it. Not blue shoot it is way more precautionary. It's basically they're guilty until proven innocent. Just kill them now because we don't recognize who they are. They could potentially be a threat to us. I think that's actually why many people enforce not blue shoot it. It's just safer to do that than to do not red, don't shoot it in nullsec. One of the biggest challenges to not red, don't shoot it is the limited number of contacts that you can add in EVE Online. In not blue shoot it, you only need to maintain a friends list. And since everyone by default starts off as a neutral to you, you essentially have an unlimited number of contacts in your kill on sight list because neutral is in your kill on sight list. But in not red, don't shoot it, you have to manually add players and groups of players to your kill on sight list. And over time, you're likely going to cap out on your number of contacts, which poses a significant logistical problem in maintaining your not red, don't shoot it rule of engagement. Another challenge is that not red, don't shoot it is to some extent reliant upon the goodwill and honesty of players. Players can easily lie and say something like, this guy shot at me and warped off while I was still in the structure. Also, there's the administrative work of removing players from your kill on sight list if they made an appeal. All of this stuff is automated in high security space by the in-game mechanics. So to undertake this work as a human being in low security space and null security space, well, it's a lot of work. Here's something that's kind of interesting. Not blue shoot it seems to lead to blue donuts. You have to add people to your friends list in order for them to for you to not attack each other, to get a ceasefire thing going on. But you don't need to add anybody to your red list, so you end up with a blue donut. In not red, don't shoot it, you don't need to add people as blue contacts for you to know that they won't shoot at you and for you not to shoot at them. But you need to add people to your red negative standings contacts list. And then slowly over time, you wind up with a red donut. So there's a real opposite there, which is kind of a fascinating thing. Here's another interesting thing about not red, don't shoot it, is that it seems to actually lead to a lot of content and to more kills happening in that region of space than in not blue shoot it. Under not red, don't shoot it rules of engagement, neutrals are welcome to come in and hang out, go mining, or do whatever without getting shot at by the locals that live there. And with the influx of these neutrals or these newbies or these softer targets, then comes the desire for kills coming from pirates and gankers, and they will go in there looking for soft targets to kill. And then that leads to a crackdown by the local authorities, I guess, the local players enforcing not read, don't shoot it rules, which creates a certain level of security and interest for more neutrals to want to come in. And so you've got this symbiotic relationship between these different types of players that ends up creating a lot of content. And you're not going to find content like that in not blue shoot it regions of space. CCP could make not read, don't shoot it easier to manage by, for example, enabling a trigger that will automatically set a player to red if they shoot at one of your players in your corporation, and or it could automatically set their entire corporation or alliance to red as well, and or it could set them to red for a certain amount of time, like for 1 month or 3 months or indefinitely, for example. They could also raise the limit on the number of red contacts that you can have. But as things are right now, I can see why people don't bother doing not read, don't shoot it because, well, for one, it is more risky than NBSI. And it also takes more work. Maybe in the future we'll be able to set up our own complex triggers and rules systems to manage that stuff. But for now, I'm following not read, don't shoot it myself on a personal level for my own personal conduct in the game. It's also because I want to maintain high security status, because I live in high security space and make trips into low security space. And I didn't really talk that much about this, but if you're following NBSI and you're living in low security space, not only do you have to deal with gate guns or sentry turrets on gates and on stations, if you're not near them and you're not dealing with the sentry turrets, you're still dealing with a loss of your security standings. And if you keep on losing security status, if you go into high security space, Concord will just kill you on sight. And so you can deal with this by getting tags and turning them in to bump your security status up. But I just don't bother shooting at neutrals unless I know that they're aggressive, in which case I set them to red on my own personal contact list. Anyway, part of the reason I talked about this in this video is because I started a new corporation, EVE Online, called the Matari Moneymakers, and it's been almost a month since the creation of the corporation, and I've noticed that some of the members of the corporation are going around and killing neutrals in low security space, and somebody came into our Discord and said, "You guys going around ganking targets?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, this isn't the reputation I want to make for my corporation." And I started looking into, well, why don't we, maybe I can try setting not read, don't shoot it rules of engagement. But after learning about the flaws of it, particularly relying upon the goodwill and the honesty of other players, the extra administrative burden involved with it, that, and also the limit on how many players you can add to your contact list, and people will exploit the system. There'll be players that will go into NPC corporations where all the newbies are, and then they'll come into your region of space and blow people up. You're not going to add an NPC corporation to your red list because it includes lots of players that are just newbies. They're not actually, they don't have any ill intent. And also dealing with he said, she said kind of stuff. I don't want to have to deal with that. So rather than micromanage my members and try to force them to follow a not read, don't shoot it rule of engagement, if any members of the Matari Moneymakers are watching this, I just like you to consider your security status and also the fact that shooting neutrals can potentially lead to diplomatic problems for the corporation in the future. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Flying Scorpion again, or also known as Boozbaz and EVE Online, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.